Good afternoon, everyone. And again, welcome to our next session, our Ask UWI, Anything You Want session. My name is Nataki Kerr. I'm the Manager of Brand and Student Recruitment Marketing here at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine. And it is my extreme pleasure to host this afternoon session. Again, we'd like to say welcome to all our attendees who I'm seeing they are now logging in. We have quite a few persons who've signed up for this Ask UWI session. And today we have Ask UWI about our Masters in Science program in Engineering Asset Management. And we really hope that we can answer all your questions about Engineering Asset Management in our Masters program, because these are what our Ask UWI sessions are designed for. We have these sessions to make sure that you have all the information you need to apply with us before our deadline date, because remember, our deadline date for applications for our September 2024 to 2025 cycle is on July 31st. So you've got to sign up now. Our portals are open. We are ready and eagerly awaiting your applications. But just in case you weren't sure, and just in case you had a couple of questions, a couple of things you wanted clarified, we have these online sessions for you to come on board and ask us all the questions that you need to have answered. With me today, I have Mr. Kishore Jagru, who's the coordinator of the MSc in Engineering Asset Management program. We have Ms. Janelle Moore, who is here from our graduate studies team. She'll be able to also give you information about applications. We have our engineering team in the background who is there. They're waiting on the chat, waiting for your questions. So we welcome you to ask your questions in our chat. We want to hear from you. And we know some of you all are a bit shy, so you can type in your questions, or we would love to hear your voice. So you can use your raise hand tool, call upon you, and you can ask your questions. So now is the time to get all the questions you need to get answered. So again, welcome to our attendees who've just joined us, and welcome to Ask UWI about our MSc in Engineering Asset Management. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Jagru, Mr. Kishore Jagru, who is the coordinator of this entire program, and he is going to share his screen with us and give you an overview of the program and tell you about all the various courses and give you some juicy information that I'm sure that you all are eagerly awaiting. Mr. Jagru?
All right, thank you very much, Nataki Axis. I am actually the co-coordinator. The coordinator is Dr. Terence Lala, all right? So I will now share my screen. Yep. Right, so I have to. Right, so this is what. All right, so basically, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kishore Jagru. I've been with the program and I've been lecturing for the past 24 years. I've been full-time with UWI from 2015 to 2021. I actually worked in the oil refinery for 37 years as an engineer. I retired as the manager of the maintenance department. I've always been in charge of maintenance and reliability. So basically, you will see in my presentation, and really one of the background of the, in addition to doing what Mr. Aru and his group had done, was really add to the program the real life experience in order to make students, really industry ready. So we are going to talk about the Engineering Asset Management program, the EAM MSc program. I'll bring greetings from Professor Bishan Ramlal, the Dean, Dr. Chris Maraj, Dr. Jacqueline Bridge, Dr. Terence Lala, myself, and Ms. Nikisha Robinson, Plato Robinson, who is looking at some coordinating of the marketing on our end. All right, and the fundamentals of this program is really embedded in the ISO 55001, the fundamentals of asset maintenance system, where you identify strategies to optimize your maintenance and reliability systems. You present strategies for condition monitoring, failure analysis, quality control, TPM, RCM, CMMS, and these types of reliability systems. And here you go into ensuring sustainability of your proactive systems and continuous improvements. You also look at identifying gaps in the industry, and there are a lot of them. And you use, we would use this MSc program, the Engineering Asset Management program, to close these gaps. And then we identify continuing support which is provided by UWI to the MSc students during their entire professional career, right? We also identify strategies where UWI could partner with the industries in this sustainability and continuous improvement process. And with respect to the whole ISO requirement, the context of the company is what we look at. Leadership, planning, where we identify risks, opportunities. We look at objectives in planning and scheduling systems, support systems, awareness and communication, resources, competence of the resources. Then we look at the operation itself, things like planning, control, management of change, outsourcing of your requirements, and then performance evaluations. This is where Mr. Aru comes in a lot, where we look at monitoring, measuring, KPIs, analysis and evaluation, and then we look at improvements. We look at non-conformity, we look at corrective action, we look at preventative action. And basically what we have found with the 24 years that we are here, we have found that there are a lot of industries that are operating in what we call an unconsciously incompetent mode. They don't know where they are. So the EAM program benchmarks the system, and then they now become consciously incompetent. They know exactly what they have to do. And then the EAM program and the initiatives of the CAT team that we'll talk about actually pulls the system over this first hump and get individuals to now become consciously competent. They know what they have to do, but they have to work at it until they reach a point where now they become unconsciously competent, where these improvements are embedded in the system. There are no silver bullets to take you from here to here, from consciously incompetent to consciously competent. None. You have to put your shoulder to the wheel. The EAM program helps you with this effort to cross this first hump. And then you get prepared for the other humps, where these are called the technical humps. The first of the many technical humps, artificial intelligence, CMMS, reliability-centered maintenance, and these type of things. And basically what we are saying is that you need to get this physical hump in place. We're getting people to do what they are supposed to do. And then we look at the whole issue of leadership. Most companies set up strategic plans, but then it remains there. But these strategic plans are supposed to be developed into KPIs, and these KPIs are then key performance indicators, are then cascaded to the lower levels, so that everyone in the organization will now have a clear line of sight as to what is required by the board of directors, required at the top of the chain. And basically what are we doing? We are allowing for a characteristic change where now there is a lot of turmoil in the organization. And by us and the EAM program, we are controlling this turmoil, getting it to a controllable point, but getting the improvements that we want. And in so doing, we look at the equipment in operation, what we do, the condition monitoring, the preventive maintenance. We then look at when we will talk about this PF curve, every piece of equipment deteriorates, and you monitor it, and then you take it out before it fails catastrophically. So you don't want your engine in your car to fail. You change the oil on a regular basis. You take it and get it serviced every 3 months or every 6 months. And then at a certain point in time, you need to, without catastrophic failure, do some repairs, do a failure analysis, come up with the quality control requirements, repair, and then you go back through the cycle. But every time you go back through the cycle, you are improving. And this is what the PF curve is. Every mechanical piece of equipment deteriorates. You know it will fail, but you want to take it before it goes into catastrophic failure. And these are some examples of what we have in the industry. We have interface with. These are good bearings, these are failed bearings, these are failed shafts, etc. These are what you would refer to as very good bearings, right? And then we have KPIs, key performance indicators. These are the things, Mr. Aru is very strong on this, where we will go in and identify these key performance indicators. And by looking at these, we will know how well are we doing. Right, like Josanne went through some key KPIs for this webinar. And she would make sure that we had everything in place, the sound was in place, etc. The percentages were where we wanted to be. That is what your KPIs are about. And in conclusion, there's no silver bullet. No silver bullet. Nobody. Don't let anyone fool you as young engineers or people in the industry. None. You need to sweat the system. You need to look like things like reliability-centered maintenance, TPM, Kepner-Trago, and these other things, strategic plan, characteristic changes, KPIs and management accounting, continuous improvement, and synergistic working relationship. Now, this little presentation that I had previously is really, it's on YouTube, and it's a guide in the use of the existing maintenance and reliability theories to enhance equipment reliability and availability in Caribbean industries. So go on to Iconitech 2020 and you will get that, and just look at the title or put my name in and you will see that presentation. All right. So basically, to the hardcore of the engineering asset management program, we are looking at developing competent asset managers who will be able to manage asset integrity, look at strategic plans, develop and manage maintenance and reliability plans and schedules, optimize the strategic and annual budgetary systems, plan and control major plant turnarounds, 15 million, 20 million, 25, 30 million dollars. And in some of in the Point Lisa's estates, we're talking about 15 million US dollars. Efficiently and effectively implement maintenance and reliability technologies such as reliability-centered maintenance, total productive maintenance, failure modes, effect and criticality analysis, the Chicago diagram, root cause analysis, and effectively manage the maintenance and reliability management accounting system that looks at your KPIs, your performance against your targets, and then be able to know where you are with respect to that. And the courses that are covered are the work planning and scheduling. Now, this work planning and scheduling by Doc Palmer, he actually comes in and does a short course for our students, free of charge, free of charge. All right. People who come in from the outside, it's advertised for the, and we have been getting some very good support from Josanne and Nikisha, from Nikki, and getting people all of the islands coming to these courses by Zoom. And then I will do a turnaround short course. Again, it's free for our students. Then we have condition monitoring, where we look at all bad actors, all performance of equipment. We will go through all the different types of equipment that you will meet in the industry, and we will explain this to the students. Look at what could fail and what will prevent it from failing, how you will know it's going to fail. Then we have 6700, Mr. Aru does that, strategic asset management, which is really reliability and financial analysis for engineers. Then we have 6701. This is the one where I look at all of the equipment you could interface with in the industry and know how they will fail. And here we also look at reliability-centered maintenance, total productive management, and total productive maintenance, and then computerized maintenance management systems, right? Then 6704, this is Professor Jardine. Yeah, you see, he has written this book. This is the book that we use. And he also does, well, his program has been packaged into a short course for the industry. All right. But this is one of the students, they will attend this. So they don't pay for this as a short course as such. Then I do, and he and I will do a one-day short course to the industry. Then we have 6705, Mr. Aru is on this also, maintainability, engineering and management, financial and marketing strategy for non-financial professionals. 6706, Mr. Hamlin Holder, he is the manager at Metanex, looking at turnarounds. He looks at reliability, availability and maintainability. Then we have Dr. Oja, we have the 9, these are the, out of the 8 of the 9 compulsory is research methods, where we look at optimal research methodologies, collation and report formulation in asset reliability issues. And then 6402, human resource management, the human factor, including industrial relations, emotional intelligence, etc. And then we have 3 optional courses, which is 6707, which looks at benchmarking, and Mr. Aru does this, looks at the same thing we were talking about, knowing where you are against your target. And then we have health, safety, and the requirement and the environment. Of course, all industries must have safety in their system. And then we have project management, prioritizing, formulating, implementing, and quality control of projects, where we look at project initiation, planning, execution, and then closeout. And then we have, of course, total quality management by Professor Poon, the optimization of quality in the assets. Now, supporting this final year, or those are 2 years, and the final year project will be a final year project which will be industry-based. You have industry SMEs will work with the students to identify the problem in the industries, and then we develop the objectives. At UWI, we will work with the students to achieve these objectives, and it's really a win-win situation. So the entry requirements is a BSc in engineering discipline, 1 year minimum experience. Now this is necessary because a lot of the work that we do has to be done with respect to experience. So it's better to give yourself an opportunity, get a year, 1 year experience, and then come in. Then there are 2 methods, which is a full-time method, where you could finish the taught courses in 1 year and then have a 6 months final year project. But this, you cannot be working in order to do this. You have to be unemployed. Or if you are working, you do it part-time. 2 years of taught courses is 12 courses, right? 3 courses per semester is 4 semesters, 4 3s are 12. You have a final year project, then you have an examination, which is 60%. You have coursework, which is 40%, right? And then you have a final year project, which is 100% after you pass all your taught courses. We have international external examiners, in addition to internal examiners, who will look at these final year projects. We have international external examiners who will evaluate the course material. And this course is presently accredited by the Institute of Mechanical Engineer, IMechE, of the UK, which is done every 5 years. So we are good for the next 3 to 4 years. International students, a lot of these, we have a few international students. We have from Guyana, we have from Jamaica, St. Lucia. We might get one from Aruba, and they are all doing this online. All right. So if we have international students, we accommodate them online. So basically, in addition to the taught courses, we have these short courses, as we said, which are run by the authors, some by the authors of the books we use, Professor Jardine, who is on this weekend from the University of Toronto, Doc Palmer from the USA, Greg Boscarello from the USA, Hafiz is from Trinidad, I am from Trinidad. I do turn around with Professor Lee, talking about machine learning, artificial intelligence from the University of Toronto. Professor Tajipuru comes in with Professor Jardine. This weekend they are coming in, all right? So these are the short courses, none of which the students will have to pay for, all right? And then another initiative is that I would bring in guys who have worked with me for over 30 years of field experience, where they will discuss actual case studies with the students. We have electrical systems, Klein Laborde, pumps and compressor, Mr. Bassif Singh, boilers and heaters, strategic planning, Mr. Roy Lloyd, he's one of the director of the company, gaskets, bolts and torquing, this is Mr. Alec Jordan from Dumont Enterprises, machine shop capabilities, talking about water cutting, or you could cut, 8 inches thick steel using high pressure water, Mr. Deepak Lal, then Mr. Andrew McIntosh, once a director at Petrotrin. He's now in the international arena because he arbitrates international contracts. So he tells students how they could get into the international market, similar to Mr. Asghar Ali Hussain, who worked for 5 years, for 5 or 8 years in Saudi Arabia. Tell us what are his experiences. And then students sit in teams and discuss these case studies. And the teamwork that they do with every course is assessed at 5% of the final mark. Then they record their concepts and these case studies in a journal. And this helps them with a certain amount of critical thinking and innovation, right? And all of these would help the student in their final year project. At the end of the EAM program, students must be industry ready to add immediate value wherever they are employed. They then become the internal consultants in maintenance and reliability in their industries. And one of the final added feature is, as long as you are one of my students, I now become available to the student on a 24/7 basis for discussion on any work-related issues, and that's free of charge. So I kind of mentor them with my 37 years of experience. And then the CAT team, really this CAT team is a team through the Engineering Institute where the industry, we could go in and work with our students, hold them by the hand and get them over that first hump. Show them how they could implement what they have learned. This presentation is really an abridged version of a longer presentation that I do to the industry. And when I do that presentation to the industry, I talk to the seniors in the industry. And by doing that, we set the fertile ground for the students to be able to sow the seeds of maintenance and reliability. And then we work with them to get it, to take care of those seeds, to make sure that it grows into the plants that they want. So this is really the CAT team that we are talking about. All right. And then here we talk about closing the gaps, where the industry management, we will ask, tell us what your requirements are. The coursework and the final year project will now be designed to close the, right? Presented, we could discuss it with the senior personnel in the industries. And the EAM, the EM and the MEM master's program will now deliver what is required. We normally visit the industries to look at projects which are in progress. The team, as we spoke about, we have the SMA, the 30 years of field experience courses by the authors of the books that we use. And then in all of this, we look at problem solving techniques, innovation, we teach our students to stop never met before. They could do that. And then they are taught the team dynamics, and then to manage their time using journals, etc. So I think that's it for me. Nataki, I don't know if
Yes, I'm right here. Thanks very, very, very much, Mr. Jagru. I think what is so obvious is how passionate you and the team are. And what I really like is how you were able to discuss the strategic part of the engineering asset management and the practical part also, because many persons in their professional careers are not sure how to merge that strategic and the practical, how to merge the leadership and then rolling up your shirt sleeves. And you really have to be able to merge both. And that's especially important in our Master of Science program. And also sometimes, we have so many of us who are here with us today. And sometimes, we aren't sure the value of a postgraduate education. And this actually helps us to understand why you should do a postgraduate degree here at our university. It helps you in a really, really real sense, to combine that strategic and the practical. And that's something that I think our viewers here will be able to appreciate. So just in terms of information, I would like our persons in the background to just make sure and put whatever email address we have. So in case any of our attendees here have any further questions, let us know what email address we can use to send in our questions, because you may think of some questions after the session. Let us know what links we can click on to be able to get more information about our postgraduate programs. So all that information will be coming to all of you very, very soon. And again, if you do have any questions for us, this is what we are having the Ask UWI session for. It's for you to ask your questions. So make sure and put your questions in the chat. We are happy to have you here. I would like to hail out Aaron and Clint and Ricardo and Sean and Ijaz and all the persons who are here with us on our show this afternoon. We are also going to be uploading this video onto YouTube by tomorrow, so that if it is you want to look at it again and go through some of those key bits of information that Mr. Jagru would have shared, you can also go on. And he also indicated some other places on YouTube where he has a longer, more comprehensive presentation. So if you need more information, feel free to be able to look at it. And Ricardo just sent us his email. I think he wants us to make sure and send him the presentation afterwards. So our team in the background, we have Chloe and the rest of the team will take a note of his email. And don't worry, Ricardo and the Jazz, yes, I'm seeing your emails. We're going to send you all the information we have. And for those of you, before I bring on Ms. Amo, who I know is waiting, to just remind you of what you need to be able to sign up for the program. If you have more questions for us and maybe you forgot to email or you don't have time, please come to our UWI Open Days. We have an Open Day weekend coming up on April 13th and 14th. Anytime you want to come between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., you can come and chat with Mr. Jagru or members of his team who'll be there at the engineering booth. All our faculties will be there. You can come and ask questions. You could interact with them, have a nice sit down and chat, and you can come and bring the entire family. We have activities for the entire family. So don't forget, you can also have a face-to-face with us on April 13th and 14th at our UWI Open Days. Check us out on our socials. So again, we are really appreciative of the in-depth presentation Mr. Jagru gave. And now I would like to ask Janella Moore, who I know is very passionate about this program. Mr. Jagru earlier mentioned that she's always trying to ensure that our students know what they have to get when they have to sign up. You're interested in signing up, but you're not too sure. She'll just kind of go over exactly what you need. So Janelle, I'm turning it over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
Good
My
afternoon.
name is Janelle Armour Alexander. I work for the Office of Graduate Studies and Research. I am your Applications Assessment Officer for the MSc Engineering Asset Management program, and I actually deal with the entire Faculty of Engineering. So, a little bit of what we require, the requirements for applying to our postgraduate program. Your birth certificate, it's important. Your CV will also show the coordinators your work experience so that they will be able to make decisions on your application based on that. Most times we require a job letter. We need 2 referee reports from people that will recommend you to study for the program. It can be from previous lecturers, friends, you can choose. We need, in the absence of your official transcript, and if you are not a university student, we will need your unofficial and official transcripts. Bear in mind, official transcripts are to be sent via electronic email to our postgraduate pgtranscripts@sta.uwi.edu. I shall put it in the chat so that you all can see where your university, your previous university, needs to send your official. We cannot give you an offer if we don't have your official transcript. But we will use your unofficial, which is your student copy, to send to the department so that they can make a decision in the interim. For our females who wish to do the program and you have had a name change in the past because of marriage or any other thing like that, we require a marriage certificate. And yeah, that's it. It's fairly easy and straightforward. And anyone that has any questions with regard to applications, you can feel free to email me at janelle.armour@sta.uwi.edu, and I will be happy to help and guide you on our application process. So yeah, Nataki.
Thanks very much, Chanel. That was very comprehensive. And I know you know this thing like the back of your hand, as we say in Trinidad and Tobago. And I know you said you would put all the information in the chat for us. So she even put her personal email. So you have any questions, you could chat directly to Janelle, or you could send the email to the other address, which she's also going to put in the chat, our postgrad team there. They are there, they are waiting. And as I said, that's the reason why we are having this session for you. I'm seeing that Mr. Jagu Darren asks a question. He says, good day. Please advise the names of the 12 courses for the program again. So can you just remind Darren what are the 12 courses for the program? He just needs a little reminder.
All right, we have the 67. Oh, well, I could give them by, they are what? Maintenance, analysis, and optimization. I will have to, I don't know them off the bat. Do I? Just hold on. I'll give it to you.
That's no problem. So Darren, we're going to come back to you in a minute or two with those. But again, we are also going to be sending, we are going to be uploading this exact presentation on YouTube. And then I know Mr. Jagru had called out all the courses before. And then too, you can also email, you could come to our open days, but Mr. Jagru is just trying to put his hands on the exact information.
Yes, I have the information here.
Okay, here we go.
Right. So, like I say, it's in the presentation, right? Which I went with the nice pictures and whatever. So we have strategic asset management, asset maintenance technologies, maintainability engineering and management, human resource management, work planning and scheduling, condition monitoring and diagnostics, maintenance analysis and optimization, asset reliability management, research methods, all right, then health, safety and the environment, project management, asset performance management, and then total quality management. You have 9 of those which are mandatory and they're compulsory, and you have 3 which are optional.
Thanks very much, Mr. Jagru. I hope that answers your question, Darren. And Nirmal, who came in a little bit late, I believe that if we could just resend the link for Nirmal so he could check the fees. I know that we had some links posted earlier. If we could just repost them so Nirmal could go up and check to see what the fees are. And Nirmal, I know you came in late, so we have to make sure and send you this presentation. But one of the things that Mr. Jagru spoke about is the number of short courses that will also be available to our students, and they are free of charge. And there are certain things that I'm very impressed with this program about is the practical experience, as I mentioned before, the liaising with the industry experts. You actually have the persons who wrote the books that you are studying from coming in and giving lectures and talking about their real world experiences. So those are things that are critical and are really, really very unique about our program here at the University of the West Indies. Yes, Darren, so I'm glad that we were able to help Mr. Jagru. Darren says thank you very much, and Nirmal says thank you very much. And we'll be sending all that information to you guys. We're really happy to have you here, and we're happy that we can answer your questions. You have an expert right here with you, so he can answer your questions. And you also have Janelle, who, as we mentioned before, she's the lady to ask for. We have a question. Who we have a question from?
I just wanted to make a comment on the costing of the program.
Sure. Right.
Now, this program is approximately, Janelle, you could just correct me if I'm, but it's about $65,000 for the entire program.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it sounds pretty expensive. However, when you compare it to a similar program internationally, it is half the cost. An international program of this type, without the short courses and without the SME presentations, is to the value of about $120,000. So this course is actually approximately half of that. And then tied into that is about $28,000 of free short courses. Right? So that kind of works out pretty good. Also, students can go onto the easy payment plan system where they could pay on a monthly basis for the 3 months for each semester. So it works out to about $5,000 a month. Right?
It's a very good point, Mr. Jagru.
Right, and then of course there is the facility for what do you call it, the HELP, where you could go in and get student loans and that type of thing if you qualify. So it's something that they could look at, right? But
yeah,
when you look at it internationally, it is about approximately half the cost of an international program without, a lot of them don't have these short courses and the SME presentation.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's an excellent point, Mr. Jagru. And I see Nikisha is placing additional information there, and Janelle also is telling us about the affordable payment plan. So we have links that you guys can check. And additionally, at our open day weekend on April 13th and 14th, we also have some financial institutions who will be there, where you could go in and talk to about what your financial needs are, what kind of payment plans, what kind of loans you can get. So we also have that kind of support there at our UE Open Day. So you could come, get all your questions answered, find out about financing, and you could apply one time. We have everything there, the one-stop shop. So make sure and come out, bring your colleagues, bring your family, and come and spend some time with us on April 13th and 14th for our open days.
Are there any international, any international participants, on this? I think Ijaz is
We'll
from.
check afterwards, yeah.
Right. Well, what they could be, as I mentioned, because just re-emphasize that we accommodate international students.
Yes.
And a lot of their programs will be strictly online. Sometimes make one request that the first there's one session, if they could attend, that we would like them to attend to meet face to face with the other students, and then after that it's online. Because we have a few.
Actually, Mr. Jagru, I'm glad you asked that, because Ijaz says he's from Guyana.
Yes, I know. He's the one of the guys who came to one of my short courses. Welcome, Ijaz. Well,
good. Welcome, Ijaz. We're happy to have you here. So, Ijaz, yes, we can accommodate you, because as Mr. Jagru said, we do these things online. And of course, Aaron was also asking about the method of delivery, but Aaron, it's hybrid. We do some face-to-face, but it could all be done online. Maybe if you want to attend one or two of the compulsory face-to-face things, but we can accommodate you. So don't have any fear about if it's hybrid or if it's online or face-to-face, we can accommodate the online option. I hope that answers your question, Aaron. And of course, Janelle is there putting some more information for you right there online. So I think it's a very inclusive program. It's a comprehensive program. So it's face-to-face, it's online, and our team is there answering as quickly as you ask your questions, and that's what we're here for. Ask us your questions. You have a captive audience here. We are here to answer all your questions, yeah? And we're getting all the email addresses, and we do have everybody who has registered. We have your email addresses, so we'll make sure and send you additional information. Our team in the background will make sure and send you this presentation, just in case you want to share it with a friend. You can share it with a friend. And of course, you could come on down to our open days and ask your questions to the engineering team, who will be there to answer all your questions. We really be happy to have you here. Mr. Jagru, I have another question for you. I was wondering about scholarship opportunities. Are there any scholarship opportunities or any opportunities to work with some of the big industry giants?
I'm not sure. No, I don't. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever, Janelle, I don't know. I don't think we have ever had any scholarships here. However, there are some industries that will
pay or underwrite.
Pay part of the fees.
Right.
There are few industries that, well, a lot of industries now are shying away from this payment thing, but some are still holding on to. Some pay, I think, about 50%.
Depending,
you have to pass your exams, for example,
of course, if they're investing in your future. And before I get to Aaron's point, sometimes in terms of really trying to figure out if I should do a postgraduate degree or not, because at this stage in your life, most of us have families and we have other commitments. Sometimes a postgraduate degree is what helps you get from X to Y. It helps you to jump from this level to the next level. So sometimes that postgraduate degree is what you need to take your career to the next level. But Aaron is asking Mr. Jagru, for the project, do you have to do it with the company you are presently working with, or is it companies chosen by the department?
No. You have the option of either doing it with your company, or if you could find a company that will be able to accommodate your project. And if you can't, then we know of a few companies that we could have a chat with them and see if they could allow you to do a project in their company.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
that's one of the ways we could do it. Yes.
Okay, so Aaron, I hope that answers your question. And Janelle, she just put in another email address there in case anyone has any questions about scholarships. And so they can also email another one of our team members whose address is right there in the chat. So again, we are answering as soon as you ask. We only have a couple minutes to go, about 5 minutes or so to go again. But I'd just like to reiterate that this program is very comprehensive. Not only are you allowed to learn about strategic and leadership elements, but you're also allowed to combine it with the practical experience. And I think that's very unique. Your lecturers are industry experts who've been around for some time, so they know the business quite well. You are able to liaise with persons whose books you're studying from. You are able to benefit from free courses, free short courses on various topics from experts who come in internationally, regionally, and locally. So it's really a unique combination of everything. We have Janelle here, who was able to answer all our application questions. She gave us some additional information. Our team in the background provided some links. And of course, we have Mr. Jagru, who is here. He gave us a wonderful overview of the program, all the courses. I even learned some things about engineering asset management. So,
Two additional items.
sure.
One is that if you look at the offerings that we are giving, and look at the requirements for a lot of the applications with respect to asset integrity, we cover most of them.
Okay.
All right, that's one.
Yeah.
And when you do the short courses, although the students do not pay for it, they are still given a certificate of participation issued by UWI.
Okay.
Right? So it supplements in their CV as such. Right? And there are a lot of industries that are looking for, for asset integrity individuals who are working in this area, because many industries realize we are kind of working with the industries and sensitizing them in terms of this benchmarking and asking them the question, are you where you are supposed to be?
Yeah.
Right? And looking at those gaps. And I also offer that free presentation to the industry and the industry personnel,
Yeah.
right? Indicating, what our programs are capable of doing.
Yeah. Mr. Jagro, Clint is asking a question here, and I hope I'm asking it properly. He says the Engineering Council website says the MSc Engineering Asset Management course was accredited for further learning to civil engineering status for 2021 to 2023. He just wants to confirm that the 2024 intake will also be able to use this MSc as a further learning to civil engineering status with the IME-CHE.
I know we are accredited until the next 2 or 3 years. So in as much as we are accredited with IMECI, if they are associated with IMECI, I don't see them having a problem. But he could always, go back to the council and verify that, because we have been accredited for the next 2 or 3 years, actually.
Okay. And thanks, Clint. What he meant to say was chartered engineer. I think I said the wrong thing. Thanks,
yeah, chartered engineer, yes. No, we are accredited with IMECI. So the 2024 intake will be, and of course, I mean, we get accredited continuously. Dr. Bridge is actually working on that right now, ensure that we are prepared for the next, next accreditation cycle. Right? And June is here, so June also is very involved in that too. So.
Okay, so good. And again, Clint, as we would have mentioned, remember, there is that email address there. And June, who he just mentioned, actually is one of our team who is here providing information for you in the chat. So you can always send us an email if you just want to clarify anything. If a layman like myself is mispronouncing what you're asking, please excuse me, but I appreciate that, because I too myself am learning quite a bit about this program, even as we speak right now. I'm not seeing any more questions here because we've been answering them as soon as they come. And we really appreciate your questions. We really appreciate the fact that you all took time off from your busy schedules to join us. So that I think I'm going to bring us to a close since I'm not seeing any more questions. But again, we were happy that you were here. We were happy that we could have answered your questions and we were able to allay some of those concerns you have. And look, Miss June Charles Norrie is putting the, she and Nikisha are putting the information right there for you again. Do not fear, we will be in touch. Reach out to us. You have all the information, all our information here. You even had Mr. Jagru saying if you're a MSc student here, he's available 24/7. I find he was very brave to say that. But
No, I know that I have been doing that for the last 5, 6
I am
years.
not surprised at all. I can tell that from the bat off. And look, Darren is saying thank you. He says thank you for this information session. You're welcome, Darren. That's what we're here for. And we hope to see you soon. And again, we hope to see all of you soon at our St. Augustine campus with our 2024 September intake. And thank you very much for joining us. I'd like to thank our panelists. We will be contacting you, and thank you so much for attending our Ask UWI session on our MSc in Engineering Asset Management. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
All right, and Nataki, I'd like to thank you very much for, for this session. Janelle, Nikisha, Chloe,
The whole team.
June, all right, the whole team.
Yes.
I think we have in the past, the past few months, we have been making a very great effort because I have had a student, for example, one of my past students is actually in Houston. And he told me he got an email for one of the short courses. So actually the group with Nikki, and then we have the Engineering Institute with Camille and Mr. Navin Budai, have been doing some fantastic work.
Yeah.
Getting this information out, right?
Yeah, they have been.
So we are actually only now scratching the surface of asset integrity, and we are indicating to the industries that we have a lot to offer you, right? And a lot of it is free. Some of the presentations I do is free of charge. So I bring the whole issue of, like, when Moses was leading the people through the desert, when you got manna, I say all you have to do is just look up and you will get what you want. It's free of charge.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jaggery. I can imagine your classes are quite entertaining. And look, Ijaz is also saying a job well done. And I'd like to thank you and the team. And we look forward to doing more work with you guys. So again, thanks very much, guys. And we're closing off this afternoon. Thanks, Mr. Jagru. Bye.
Right. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Hi, Janelle. I'll see you. June.
Bye.